My name is Brandon Uri, and I will be talking about ACRA, and I will be answering the questions for City Group Discussion 2. So, first off, to answer the first question about what are the most relevant SDGs for ACRA sustainability, first one I would say SDG 11, which is Sustainable Cities and Communities. And the reason for this is because ACRA does not have a formal infrastructure, and it is a lot of informal settlements placed throughout the city, and it's just it messes up with a lot of the building and design of the city itself, and the infrastructure is kind of ruined because of this. So this is the first and I think most relevant SDG that's holding it back on its sustainability. The second one is SDG 6, which is clean water and sanitation. And I would say because there are over 40% of the 2,500 tons of daily waste goes uncollected, and less than 2% of the residents have sewer connections, which means their water is very high at risk to be contaminated, and their waste is not being disposed of properly. So that is also hurting their infrastructure and making them less sustainable. The third one is SDG 13, which is climate action, and this is because there's frequent flooding, and in Accra, because it's a coastal city, so there's lots of storms, and it is constantly being flooded by storms and the bad weather, and it doesn't have proper drainage systems because of all this informal settlements and not well-made structured developments. To answer the second question, I will what actions would I take to improve these SDGs? So first off, for the second one, I would say, or for the SDG 11, I would say implement like zoning reformation within the city to help it like reorganize and structure the city into a better way, so where there's not just informal settlements everywhere and just messing up everything, including the structure. Second thing for SDG 6, I would say clean water and sanitation. How would we do that? I would say we could build a water treatment plant or a facility to treat this water and make it into consumable, usable water in everyday life, which would then help divert a lot of the waste. Also, for the SDG 13 for climate action, I would install like maybe early warning systems to let them know about the city to help them better prepare for storms, or also like make maybe public transportation to make it more efficient and viable in the city, such as like buses or trains, make it more easy for citizens to get around. So how would I, for the answer to the third question, like how would I assess and monitor impacts of my proposed actions? So for the first one, SDG 11, for sustainable cities and communities, I would say maybe have surveys or forums that track these housing placements and keeps like almost track of like where these houses are and like what they're doing, and if they're maybe blocking or restricting some more optimal access in these houses. And then for SDG 6, I would say just keeping track of the waste and seeing if the amount of waste is decreased each year. That should be pretty simple. And then for the climate action, I would use probably some special equipment to measure like the air pollution, and then just see whether it's making a difference or not over time, over a span of years. Yeah. Thank you.